Today, we are fortunate to have with us someone who has stood where you are now and has used the education that he got at Schoolcraft College as a foundation for building a wonderful, fulfilling, and productive life. Dr. Gary Gabel graduated from Schoolcraft College in 1969, and with a new appreciation for academic excellence, he went on to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree in economics from the University of Michigan, a master's degree in economics from the University of Detroit, and a doctorate in human resource development from George Washington University in Washington, D.C. He went on to become president and CEO of Great Lakes Strategies, LLC, a well-known provider of benefits and human resources outsourcing, flexible benefit plans, and stock plan administration. He also is co-founder of Infinite Learning, a corporate training firm where he shares his knowledge of strategic planning, conflict resolution, personal motivation, leadership, personal accountability, and team effectiveness with his clients. In 2009, Dr. Gabel was appointed to serve at the Schoolcraft College Foundation Board of Governors, and he enjoys this opportunity to give back to the college that which had such a profound effect on his life, and to help future Schoolcraft students achieve their dreams. Without further ado, let me please welcome Dr. Gary Gabel.
Thank you, Dr. Jeffers. Thank you for that nice introduction. Graduates, family, friends, faculty, and trustees. It's a great honor for me to be able to celebrate this special day with all of you, especially knowing that I had graduated from Schoolcraft. Each of you has had some kind of a moment or moments that have changed your life. What I'm going to do today is share three such moments with you that affected me. And then I'm going to bring it all home and share some insights with you, the graduates, that you might find useful as you enter your next stage in life. So to begin, let me give you some background. I grew up in Northwest Detroit. My family was pretty poor. My dad was disabled and frankly spent most of his life feeling sorry for himself. My mother worked at J.L. Hudson Company downtown, and she'd take the Grand River bus every day downtown, work all day, take the bus home, go to the A&P store at the end of our street, get groceries, come home, make dinner. She'd wash the clothes, she'd clean the house, and never complain. Through her entire working life, she never earned much more than minimum wage. But she raised a family on that minimum wage. I remember her coming home one time from work, elated. She said, "I just got a nickel raise an hour. That's $2 a week." She was always an optimist, where my dad lived a life that Thoreau would call a life of quiet desperation. I went to Cooley High School, which was in Detroit, and I hung around with some pretty tough characters. These were the kind of guys who took machine shop so they could learn the skills that would serve them well later in life when they were making license plates in prison. I had 4 years of French, and one day my French teacher said to us all, "Hey, when you graduate, you could all go and study at the Sorbonne in Paris." Well, that was just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I had had 4 years of French, but I didn't speak it that well. And how in the world would I ever get to Paris? And I sure could never picture myself eating snails. And so what I had done is I had boxed myself in to a small, small world. And I had surrounded myself with limitations and fears. One day my counselor, a fellow by the name of Leonard Leach, called me into his office. And he said, "Gary, I noticed you haven't taken your ACT test. What are you doing when you graduate?" I said, "I think I'm going into the Air Force." He said, "Well, why are you going to the Air Force?" "Because my brother did." He said, "Gary, you're smart, you get good grades, you have enormous potential. And if you go to college, college can really help you achieve some of that potential." He said, "I really want you to ponder this. I want you to go home and think about it, because I think college is a better choice for you." So I did that. I went home and I thought, and the more I thought about it, the more I liked the idea of going to college. Leonard Leach changed my life because he changed the course of my life, because he cared enough to reach out, grab me, pull me into his office, and challenge my thinking. If that moment had never occurred, I would have gone to the Air Force and the trajectory of my life would have been totally different. So I decided to go to college. Now remember, I told you that I was in a life of limitations, so there was no way I was going away to school. My God, to have to live in a dormitory? And how would I ever afford that? So I had to select a place that I could commute to. I chose Schoolcraft College. And that's the next moment or period of time that changed my life. Because a whole world opened up for me when I came to Schoolcraft College. The admissions department got me a small scholarship and found me a job. But once I started taking classes, I noticed a distinct difference from high school. My teachers in high school were good, but the faculty at Schoolcraft really cared about what they did. I began to love the process of learning because they cared so much about their work. In fact, you heard that I graduated in 1969. That's 41 years ago. It sucks to think I'm that old. But I remember most of the faculty, most of the instructors I had at Schoolcraft. I remember at one point thinking, well, maybe I'm going to want to teach in college as a result of this. And I was surprised to learn that a starting instructor with a master's degree at Schoolcraft at that time started at $13,000 a year. I suspect it's a little bit more now. What I learned from that was a very important lesson. I learned that success is far more than making a lot of money and getting a lot of things, because I saw those faculty really answering to a higher calling. They were making a difference in people's lives, and I knew that because they were making a difference in my life. And I would say to all of you grads, feel very positive and fortunate that you found your way to Schoolcraft College. It's a very special place.